Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Tafle Joshua. I'm the Registrar of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, and we have been providing free training on professional diplomas in various courses. And for the month of October, we are doing our training on peace and sustainable development. That is to say that we are providing a free 1 month professional diploma training certification in peace and sustainable development. And this is our fifth day of the training. So I want to welcome all of you for creating time to be part of this meeting. For those of you that have registered to participate in this training, it has been awesome, and you people have been so dedicated to the training. So I wish to welcome all of you, and I hope that you people are catching up with the training so far. And I believe that we're going to have a great time together to, learn. So so it has been wonderful time, and I really appreciate all of you for your commitment and dedication. Yes, you people have been seeing, I think some of you have been following the simulation training we are doing on alternative dispute resolution. Those that did their training on alternative dispute resolution, they have been doing presentation. And I was so impressed today when those that presented. And I hope that when next that training comes up, many of you will participate in it. Thank you very much. We thank you for taking time to join us. Happy weekend and happy Sunday. So, if you have joined us, as it is our tradition, you can do way to share this meeting with someone, inviting them to or take this free training. Is being provided for free, from training to certification free. So, do way to share the meeting with someone, inviting them to also take part in the training. You can also place it on your Facebook wall, on your Instagram, on your Twitter account. You can place it on your TikTok account. You can place it on YouTube, inviting somebody to also take part of this meeting. So thank you for joining us today. And today we are in day five. Let's dive into the business of the day. And what is the business of today? We are looking at negotiation and mediation. All right, peace and sustainable development. Right, so we are looking at negotiation and mediation. These are key component, areas so far as peace and sustainable development is concerned, because conflict must be mediated to bring about peace, and of course, development must also be negotiated at the international level, at the national level. You know, developmental issues are being debated, and best options are being, uh, addressed. So we are going to look at these terms and how what they mean, and how they are effective in conflict resolution, and how you can apply them, and also maybe some kind of their principles or characteristics that you need to know. So we have a lot of things that we'll be discussing today. So, but they are also key components of alternative dispute resolution. When we're talking about negotiation and mediation, they are key components of alternative dispute resolution. We may not be able to go into comprehensive uh, discussion on negotiation and mediation in this course, like we did in alternative dispute resolution training. Do you understand? But I want you to understand that they are critical components of alternative dispute resolution. That is, I'm talking about negotiation and mediation. So let's first and foremost define what negotiation is all about. What is negotiation? We'll define the two components and then proceed from there. What is negotiation? And negotiation is a process in which two or more parties with differing interests or objectives engage in discussions or conversations to reach a mutually acceptable agreement or resolution. All right. So if I engage with you to discuss on a subject matter, and we are discussing and arguing and making advances and making some point, emphasizing issues and doing all of that, what we are doing is negotiation. But let me give you a very simple example. If you go to the backyard of your house to buy a biscuit in a provision store, and you ask how much is this, they tell you, and you begin to bargain. What you are doing is negotiation. As simple as that. That's negotiation. You go to the market, you want to price the cost of beef, and as you bargain and arrive at the price that you think you can buy, and also the seller also can say, what you have just demonstrated is negotiation. Do you understand? So when two parties or more come together to discuss to reach an agreement that is mutually beneficial to the parties, is co-negotiation. It is a fundamental aspect of human interaction. Fundamental. You want to take a bus to a next destination, ask how much? Area one, area one, area one. How much is area one? Area one, 700. Area one is 400 on. No, the price have changed since. Don't you see that they have increased the price of fuel, and then everything? A liter of fuel now is 1,000 naira. So I cannot carry you from here to area one 400 naira. Okay, if you can pay 600 naira, I will carry you. Please, I have 500 naira. Can you assist me? Please just enter. Let's go. What you have just done is negotiation. I get a point now. So it's a fundamental aspect of human interaction, and it plays a crucial role in various contexts. And I have mentioned several contexts here now. It plays what a crucial role in various contexts. I get a point now, including business, diplomacy, law, politics, personal relationships, personal relationship. Do you understand? And everyday decision making. So you can see how critical the issue of negotiation is in our daily lives, in our daily interaction, and in everything we do. We negotiate everything, virtually everything. Your job, you negotiated for a pay, you negotiated for shiftings. For those of you that your job has to do with shiftings, you understand? So that you get a favorable shifting. Maybe some of you are doing two jobs. You want to get a favorable shifting so that you can be here and be there. You understand? To earn more. So all of that was achieved through negotiation. If you have done something like that. So in negotiation, each party typically seek to achieve their own goals. That's it. When you go to talk to the biscuit seller that you want to buy biscuit, is it talking to benefit you? No, it's not talking to benefit you. He is there to say and make profit. So he cannot come and say for you at a lower price, or simply because, or maybe he would not come and be bargaining the price to himself for you. No, everybody is bargaining to, achieve their own goals or objectives. So it's quite, you know, uh, it has what we call personalization of goal. Do you understand? So it's being personalized, whether as a group or as individual, it's being personalized. So, and while you are pursuing your goal and your objectives, of course, you consider the interests and the perspectives of all the parties involved. I just demonstrated a cab man and a passenger who want to get to area one here. We discussed the price, and he was giving me his reasons why the price increased. And I look at it, it's a reality, and I felt for also them and also for me as well, because I'm also I want to get to a destination, but I don't have money. Things are very hard in our country, things like that. Do you understand? So these are the perspectives, these are the interests, these are the concerns of both parties. The other party is concerned about the fact that the price of fuel have increased, maintenance of vehicle, and all of those things. Do you understand? And then, of course, family, because from this business of cab, you have to feed his family and take care of other stuff. Do you understand? And so you want to get to your destination, and then maybe you are not buoyant enough, but you have to go. You must go. So you have to also make sure that you talk to the person in such a way that he or she can assist, and that is what happened. The person assisted 500. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So in the course of negotiations, the interests of the parties are being considered. Do you understand? The concerns, the perspectives of the parties are being considered. So negotiation can involve a wide range of issues, such as price, terms of contract, resource allocation, resolving conflicts, making decisions, or reaching compromise. So this is what negotiation entails. Do you understand? I've been discussing about the issue of price in here. But apart from the price aspect of it, it also helps in terms of agreement, in terms of contract agreement. Okay, I'll talk about that one as well. When we are talking about the issue of shifting in a particular job, if your job has to do with shifting, are you getting money? So you negotiate to achieve the terms that are favorable to you. And also the organization also make sure that they get something that is reasonable for them. And then we'll talk about resource allocation. When it comes to budgetary allocation, you understand resource allocation when it comes to time, financial, and human resources, allocations. All of these are being negotiated. And then resolve because when it comes to time, oh, can we meet by 10? No, 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 no. By 10, I have something else to attend to. Can we make it by 12 noon? I can be practically free. That 12 noon. I was supposed to attend, but let's see how it goes. I will give you a call by 11 if I will be available by that 12 p.m. But if not, maybe we'll reschedule to see how we can have a favorable time. Yeah, that is negotiation. We are negotiating time resources here. All right. So resolving conflicts, of course, human being, wherever people live, coexist, and co-work, there are bound to be conflict, and that's why we say conflict is inevitable. So when conflict comes, how do you resolve it? You understand? That is it. When it comes, how do you resolve it? So making decisions or reaching compromises. All of these are the aspects of negotiations. All right. You know that this is an aspect of what negotiation. But before we dive deep into it, I want us to look at, on the other hand, what mediation is. What is mediation? We have successfully looked at negotiation. What are the what is mediation? Mediation is a form of alternative dispute resolution. Like I say, there are key components in what alternative dispute resolution, in which a neutral third party known as a mediator helps parties in conflict to reach a mutually acceptable resolution. In this case, in other case, the parties themselves discuss and reach an agreement. But in this case of mediation, we need a third party who can facilitate the process to arrive at a solution. Do you understand? So the mediator facilitates communication between the parties to make sure that there's no abuse, there's no shouting, there's no raising of the tune, and all of that. Everybody maintain a moderate tune to make sure that you discuss and arrive at a solution. Assist them in identifying issues that they may not be aware. Do you understand? So, and this is some of the things that some of you are demonstrating in our simulation class on ADR. Some of you have topics on mediation. Some of you have topics on mediation, on mediation. Some of you have topics on negotiation. Some of you have topics on arbitration, and some of you have topics on conciliation. And you are demonstrating this, how it happens. And it has been so effective. For those of you that have not been following us during the presentation, you can still go and watch it. When you see it, you see a lot of faces, not just only my face. So when you see something like that, it's a presentation, all right, simulation presentation. It's a training for them to practicalize the skills of arbitration or alternative dispute resolution. So, and exploring possible solutions and reaching a settlement. So this is what mediation is all about. This is what mediation is all about. So when we say that negotiation, two parties come together to, you know, discuss to make sure that they both achieve a mutual agreement that benefits all parties. Why negotiation has to do with mediation has to do with a third party who facilitates discussion between the parties or among parties to ensure that they also achieve an outcome that benefits all of them. You understand? So now, what are the principles of negotiation? Because negotiation is not just being carried out. There are principles that guides negotiation. So, and what are those principles? What are those things that must be considered in your negotiation? Because we say that negotiation is very vital in life, in business, in personal relationship, and everyday interaction. So, what are those principles that guide negotiation? So, we'll examine those principles one after the other. Number one is preparation. Preparation, right? Preparation. That is, for you to be able to negotiate well, you must prepare. For instance, you are going for a job interview and you do not prepare well, how will you negotiate well? It's very funny when they ask you how much should we pay you, and you don't have no idea of what you want. And then maybe, of course, you don't have any idea. You tell them what they should tell you what they can offer. They mention a price and also uh, and then maybe you lack the ability to negotiate, and then you accept a cheap amount, or you over negotiated, you over make demands. Do you understand? And then you lose the opportunity. So preparation is key. Is when you are applying for a particular job, at least you do a search on the company, look at their policies, look at several things, look at their pay ranges, and talk to maybe some of their employees to know how much a starter is being paid and all of that. Do you understand? So all of these are aspects of preparation because it will help you to negotiate well when you finally get the opportunity to meet the interviewers. I get a point now. So that's why it is. So adequate preparation is crucial before entering any negotiation. So if you must negotiate well, you must prepare well. Lack of preparation will lead to failure or an outcome that may not be, too good for you. Do you understand? So that's why you must negotiate, you must prepare well. So understand your goals. What do you want to achieve in this engagement? Prioritize. What should I put first? Should I put money first, or should I put getting a job first? Do you understand? Then maybe money will come in the course of time. All right. And then what are the limits? What are the limits to which you can go? What are the things, what can you accept? What can you not accept? All right. So you define all of these boundaries, set your priorities, set your goals, your expectations. Are you getting a point now? So that whenever your expectations is met, it will be very, very clear that yes, your expectation is met. And so you'll not just be beating around the bush. This is what I wanted. I just wanted an opportunity. I have it here. Money, I'll work hard and get promotion and get better pay when I'm finally in the job. Do you understand? So that's why it is. But first and foremost, let me get a job first. It doesn't matter how much they are paying me, how much are paying me, I can still renegotiate when the time comes. Do you understand? So it's possible. So so you can set such kind of priorities, and then you step into the job interview, and then an opportunity come for you to negotiate and table your own issues and concerns. Then you will not be stammering, you will not be looking stranded. You have something to say and you are very specific about it. You are not stammering about it, that you are so eloquent. So as far as that matter is concerned, you discuss it frequent, and that makes you to look like, it makes you look smart. Do you understand? And then increase your potentials and your chances of being employed. Do you understand? So that is negotiation. So one principles of negotiation is preparation. I can tell you for sure that group group 11 that did their presentation this evening before this training, I can tell you what I saw was preparation. That is, they sat down, worked their presentation well. In fact, they even went ahead and do a role play. That's they do role playing. They practice, rehearse. Do you understand? Everybody participated and demonstrated their role well before they came to do their presentation. So it pays to prepare. And in their presentation, is what is there, since people have been presenting, have been interrupting and making input here and there, but their own presentation, I did not see any place to interrupt. That is preparation. Do you understand? So preparation is key. And you know what? Because I was so impressed with their presentation, we did not just give them 30% marks, which is also allocated for the practicals. And then I also went ahead and promised them that if they want to become members of the institute, I'll give them 50% discount on any membership category they have chosen to be admitted. That is what it means. So when you prepare well, you impress, and then of course it makes you look smart, and then you attract even favor because of your preparation. So preparation is key. Do you understand? It's key. So it's important principles in negotiation. So whenever you want to go and negotiate anything, do what we call homework. Do your homework very well. Do you understand? That's number one. Number two, there's what we call BATNA. 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 Do you understand? So this is best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. What that simply means is that when it comes to negotiation, you have to come into negotiations with options, alternatives. Have second plan or plan B. If you have plan A, have plan B. In case plan A did not go well, you can switch to plan B. Do you understand? And if possible, plan C, as the case may be, so far as it may not affect your expectations and what you go with in that conversation. So you come into negotiation with a plan B. Don't just come with one plan. If it's not A, it's not A, then it's not business. You're not serious. You understand? Come with an alternative. Come with an alternative. And by so doing, it will surprise you how well you perform in that interaction. So knowing your partner is essential. Knowing your partner, that is what you can go with. If the first one did not work, is important. You understand? So it represents the course of action you will take if the negotiation fails. It represents the course of action you will take if the negotiation fails. And of course, sometimes it may not be that the the partner is not necessary, be that you are going for a plan B to continue with the negotiation. You understand? But it's possible that if this one did not go, I can get something. For instance, now maybe you want to buy a property, and then a building property, let's put that way. You have options, all right? You have options, but there's one that's in a very strategic position. And you also have another one that is good, but it's not as strategic as this one. Do you understand? So, so you are putting the two into perspective, all right? So your partner here is the other one that is not in a strategic position, but is still a good building. Do you understand? So now the one that is in a strategic position now become your negotiated agreement. So if this one fails, maybe there is so much attached to it in terms of the cost, and then you don't have such money, then you can quickly switch to your best partner, which is the other option, which is not in a strategic position but it's still good. And then you can go, maybe that one is within your budget, and then considering other factors, you go ahead and get it. That's what we're talking about here. Your partner. Know your partner, all right? So having a strong partner gives you leverage during the negotiation. So you can even come and do uh uh you can even come and intimidate the people that have the property that is in a strategic position, because you can tell them, see, as I'm talking to you now, you can see these messages, you can see these codes. That's another property they are calling me to go and buy. You may not even tell them the place, so, but so that if you tell them the place, they will say, "Oh, well, that is in the bush now. Well, that is not as strategic as compared to this one." So you may not tell them all those details, but you tell them that you have another um, seller that is calling you, and they are even begging you to come and give them. And then I get a point now, but you just want to come here and there, see how we can reach agreement if I can get this one. So, but if you're not ready, I can go and get that one. I get the point now. You can use this thing to intimidate. It may even make them to even reduce the price for you so that you can get it. Do you understand? But know your partner. If it do not work, you can just switch quickly to your best alternative. Do you understand? We call it best alternative to a negotiated agreement. That's partner. I hope you guys are following. And my explanation is quite explicit so that you can understand very well, right? Focus on interest, not position. Another principle of negotiation is focusing on interest and not the position of the parties. So instead of focusing solely on position, that is specific demands. There are sometimes people come to negotiation and say that, okay, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is. You understand? Those are positions, right? And that this is what we need, or this is what we want from here. You understand? But don't just focus on the want. Don't just focus on the interest. Don't just focus on the, I mean, on the want, but look at the interest, look at the need. Do you understand? So these things will help you to negotiate better. So try to understand the underlying interest of both parties. By addressing interests, you can often find mutually beneficial solutions that meet both sides' needs. Do you understand? So if we look critical beyond the position of the parties in the negotiation table, then you can be able to, or on the negotiation table, then you can be able to arrive at something good for both of you in the process. So another principle of negotiation is creating value. Create what? Value. You have to create value. So any negotiation process that take place must add value, must create value to that negotiation. So you have to aim to create value during negotiations by looking for opportunities for mutual gains. Well, this is a tough issue, but I still believe that we can reach agreement if only we are able to bend a little and adjust our position. I think we'll be able to reach an agreement. That is the value we're talking about. So this can involve exploring trade-offs. Trade-offs, that is what you give up. That is in the economy, there's what we call the scale of preferences. Do you understand? So in the scale of preferences, we have what we call the trade-offs. That is what you give up to receive something else. Do you understand? So you trade one thing, you get another thing. Do you understand? In return. So compromise, you can adjust positions or additional options that expand the pie for both parties. Do you understand? So all of this matters. It practically matters in everything. So you have to create value in the negotiation process. All right? Create value. Show willingness to make sure that the negotiation process is completed. So show the willingness. Be willing to sacrifice. Be willing to give up something in return for something. Do you understand? So that is the number fourth principle of negotiation. So far, how many have we discussed? Four. Right? We have discussed four principles of negotiation. First, we say preparation. Two, we talk about the issue of bargaining, that is best alternative to a negotiated agreement. And then we'll talk about what? Focusing on interest and not on the position of the parties. And the number four we just discussed is creating value. So those are the four principles of negotiation we have discussed. So we're going to the fifth one, which is maintain effective communication. Inability to communicate effectively can mar the process of negotiation. Inability to communicate effectively can also disrupt the process of negotiation. Some of us doesn't know how to communicate, and that's why sometimes we find it difficult to resolve conflict. Do you understand? Some of us, when we are angry, will just be ja, 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 ja. You don't want to listen to anybody. All right, that is a bad habit. Okay, so even when you are provoked, you can still give a listening ear, and also you can be able to put your emotions under control and then communicate effectively in such a way that it builds and promotes dignity and humanity. Do you understand? So clear and open communication is key to successful negotiations. So you have to listen actively. It's a component of effective communication. Ability to listen actively and effectively, right? To the other party's perspective. Listen to my perspective, I will listen to your own. When you are communicating, when you are talking, I keep quiet. When you finish, I put my own input. Do you understand? And then we continue like that until we arrive at a solution that is better for all of us. So ask clarifying questions and express your own interests and concerns thoughtfully. Thoughtfully, don't just guess issue. Reason before you reply. Do you understand? Thoughtfully, that's what we're saying. Express your issues and your concerns and your interests thoughtfully. Ask questions. When you ask questions, you know. Have you ever seen where they arrest someone for asking question? No. You when you ask the right question, I'm not saying you should go and ask wrong question. No. You go and ask another question like this, they will just slap you. So maybe you go and ask somebody now, why are you stealing government money? Is that what they position you here to do? You are stealing government money. Oh, so you ask me, so you have to come and prove how I'm stealing government money, right? So that one you're looking for trouble. Except you are on you are you are on oversized functions. Like maybe you are in the National Assembly, you go on an oversized function that you can ask such kind of terrible questions. Do you understand? But even at that, you can ask questions as to why things have turned out the way they are, not necessarily accusing anybody of stealing money. Why are you stealing government money? Except until your investigation confirm that they are stealing money, that you can come out to say clearly that someone stole money. Do you understand? So communication is very, very vital, and the ability to communicate effectively matters a lot. And this is where the issue is, because most of us doesn't know how to communicate. We communicate. Somebody asks you a question, a very simple question, and then you say, "Why are you asking me that stupid question?" Is that how to communicate? Even if the question was so stupid, can't you just respond in a different dimension? Or why can't you just maybe if at all you don't want to respond, can't you just keep quiet? Maybe ignore the question. Maybe instead of asking the person, "What kind of stupid question is that?" And many of us does that. You say, "What kind of stupid question is that?" Do you understand? So maintain effective communication. So build trust is also another building trust is also another principle of negotiation. Building what trust. You know, for you to arrive at mutually beneficial outcome for both parties, you must first and foremost sit down, build trust. The ability of the other party to depend on what you are saying is key. If you are dependable, then the issue is almost settled. But in situation whereby you are talking to me, but I am looking at you, and I believe these people, this is a serious issue. Like when we tell people, hey, this training is free, and you're not going to pay anything from training to certification, they say, "Are you sure?" And maybe they must have paid money somewhere when they told them the training is free. Do you understand? They'll ask you, "Are you sure?" Yes, I'm sure. You understand? So, and then you came, we provided peace education in July. It was free. Nobody charged you for certificate. Wow, it's true. Oh. You participated in emotional intelligence. You receive your certificate free. Nobody asked you for any fee. It is working. Oh. You participated in a ADR, and then you're about to take your exams and get your certificate for free. Nobody's asking you to pay a dime. Then this is an element of trust. Do you understand? It builds trust in the eyes of those that are joining this training every day. Assuming we some of you have done up to 3, 4 trainings already. Assuming we charge you in the first one now, you say, "Oh, these people are not reliable, they're not reliable, they're not reliable." They'll tell you something and then do another thing. Do you understand? So we try to maintain reliability as much as possible so that we will not be accused. Do you understand? So that's these are the issue. So building trust is key. Building trust is key. So build trust to whoever you are dealing with. Let the person trust you. So in that case, then they may likely believe what you are telling them. Do you understand? So it is an essential aspect for successful negotiation. So be honest, reliable, and transparent in your interactions. Building rapport with the other party can help create a more positive negotiating environment. The truth of the matter is that I'm not asking you for money, but do you know that people are giving us money? They are supporting the institute in one way or the other. It doesn't matter how small is the support, it's all support. Do you understand? It's all support. and they are giving it with the best of their, that is with all of their heart, and it's also being received with so much gratitude and appreciation. People are doing it willingly. Nobody is forcing them to do it. They contribute willingly. They say, okay, I'm just take this. I just want to support what you are doing. Do you understand? So it's being done. So that is it. So effective communication builds trust. Another one is using effective problem solving techniques. Using what? Effective problem solving techniques. That's another principle. Are the techniques to address the problem effective? What techniques are you using? Are you using bargaining? What techniques are you using? Are you using techniques that are not, reliable, that kind of thing? So you have to employ problem solving techniques such as brainstorming, exploring multiple options, all right? Multiple options like what you used to see in exam, A, B, C, choose one. Multiple options. Do you understand? Or the Dehi techniques, several other ratio techniques, and so many of them are there. You can choose one and then deploy it and it will help you. And then seeking creative solutions that may not necessarily be from any of those, but are from the you know from your head reason together, and then you come up with something good. So to overcome impasses and reach agreement that satisfy both parties. So using effective techniques or problem solving techniques can help to reach an agreement. And I give you an example of those techniques. Brainstorming. Brainstorming simply means you bring idea, I bring my own. We'll put those ideas together, evaluate and assess them, prioritize, and then decide on the best alternative. Do you understand? That's what brainstorming is all about. Manage emotions. Manage what? Emotions. So emotions can impact negotiation. Emotions can do what? Impact negotiation. Some of us are so emotional, highly emotional. Why are you highly emotional? Small thing, you are just crying. You cannot even reason and coordinate yourself well. You're just crying and crying and crying and crying. Calm down and discuss. Control your emotion. That's what we call self-regulation. Control your emotion. All right. And but before you control yourself, you must first and foremost be aware of who you are and how you feel. When you are able to identify that, you can be able to self control yourself. Do you understand? So that is it. If you do not do it, self control may be difficult, self regulation may be difficult. So you first and foremost know how you are feeling, how the issue is hitting you. So that's why sometimes some people, when they are so angry, you want to ask them question, they will tell you, please, I don't want to talk. You understand? Not that they don't want to talk, but they are in a state whereby if we insist they should talk, you will not like the talk at the end of the day. It's better you would have allowed them not to talk at all. Do you understand? So so you just maybe you can leave it for a while when the tension reduces. You cannot ask them, they can say, whatever they want to say. Do you understand? I believe you must have experienced what I'm trying to express here. So manage your emotions. Managing emotion is also one of the principles of negotiation. You cannot go into negotiation with so much arrogance and pride. And yes, it's good to be smart and know what you are looking for, but you abuse and don't play everybody. You look down on every. No, 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 no. Control your emotions. So emotions can impact negotiation. So stay calm, composed, and focused on the issues at hand. Don't go and be some of you when you're angry, you bring issues of yesterday night or yesterdays. Our wives. Now, Nasabi do that one, oh, telling you if you are a married man here, I believe you must have received reminders of the offenses you commit to your wife in a time past. When you offend her, she will go back and bring matters that are not issued down, but they want to remind you of how you have been offending them. You understand? So it's like that. So, but you can control your emotions and focus on the issue at hand. Do you understand? Forget about what has been. If you bring the past issues, it will limit and hinder the progress of the discussions. Right? So recognize and manage your emotions and those of the other party. Because sometimes you discover that sometimes it's not your emotion. Sometimes it's the emotion of the other party that you need to address, you need to deal with. So if somebody is vibrating, and then you too, you follow to vibrate, at the end of the day, all of you will consider as mad people or angry people, angry without control. You'll be put in the same class. But if one is and you keep quiet, do you know that to some point you try to understand the emotions of the person? You feel that you know that the person is very, very offended and very hot. Do you understand? So let you not just add to what is already hitting him. So let you maintain your cool. Do you understand? So that you not just add to the issue. Because if you also dare to say a word, it will aggravate the situation. So what do? You maintain your cool. Maybe when the person vibrate and vibrate and vibrate and vibrate and then calm down, you can begin to engage the person small, 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 and then have discussion. That's why sometimes somebody is angry, but at the end of the day, people both will laugh and then go on and say, "No, the truth of matter is I was very, very angry." Do you understand? I was very, very angry. But it's not a problem. We can work it out. We can move on. You understand? So that's what it is. So manage your emotions and those of others so that you can be able to achieve effective negotiation. So be willing to walk away is the last principle. Walking away is not necessary failure. It's not a sense of defeat. Please know when to walk away. If not, there's nothing on earth that is so compulsory, except, as my pastor would say, except to go to heaven. Apart from going to heaven, nothing is so compulsory in life. Is there anything so compulsory in life? No. So don't die because of a thing. Walk away. Even somebody offended you, and you feel that the person is not even giving attention, is not willing to cooperate. What do? Walk away. My father taught me that secret. Oh. Anytime my mom will be vibrating, cha 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 cha, when she's angry, my father will just say, "Put me water, let me take my bed." Take his bed. Wear his clothes. Jakpa. He will not even say a word. He will go. By the time he comes back, we don't know how he used to say to her, we don't know. I don't know. But the matter cannot just resurface. You understand? Settle so you can walk away if you cannot be able to contain the excesses of your wife. Just Oga, do a stroll, go out, come back. By the time you come back, everywhere is quiet. They will serve you food, you eat, and then maybe later, you go and settle it. I'm just giving you some simple example of what it means to walk away. You go to shop to buy something and the price is too much for you, walk away. You may get it somewhere cheaper. So sometimes the best outcome is to walk away from a negotiation that does not meet your needs or is not in your best interest. You can walk away. All right. Some people walk away. They say, this president, why can't we do it on Zoom? No, we don't want to do it on Zoom. We don't want to do it on Zoom. We want to do it. Some say in WhatsApp. We should do the president on WhatsApp. We cannot do it on WhatsApp. We'll do it here on Facebook here. So maybe they were not comfortable with doing on Facebook or YouTube, so they walk away. They walk away. So you can walk away. Nothing is a must. Even though it's a free training, but they are trying to compel me to join training on Facebook, so I walk away. So you walk away. For those that it is in their best interest, they are here. And even if it's not even in their best interest, they feel that they can sacrifice to be here, they are here. You understand? So that is just it. So that is they may not be Facebook people, but for the sake of this training, they bent to just join and get knowledge. Do you understand? Ah. So knowing when to walk away can be a powerful negotiation tool, techniques, tactics. So what have we done so far? We have successfully, identified uh how many principles of negotiation? More than 10. Do you understand? We talk about preparation, we talk about best alternative to a negotiated agreement. We talk about focus on interest and not what on position. We talk about creating value. We talk about maintaining effective communication and then also build trust. This is just a way of recap. I'm just trying to recap the principles of negotiation that we have discussed. Use of effective problem solving techniques, manage emotions, and be willing to withdraw, be willing to walk away. So by applying these principles to negotiation strategy, you can enhance your effectiveness and increase the likelihood of achieving your favorable outcomes. So try and apply them when next you are to negotiate a landed property, you have to negotiate a fare, you have to negotiate um, anything, all right? Anything. So let's go ahead. Let's proceed. So we earlier defined mediation as a form of alternative dispute resolution in which a neutral third party known as a mediator helps parties in conflict to reach a mutually acceptable resolution. Is it not so? That's what we say. So we say the mediator facilitates communication between the parties, assisting them in identifying issues, exploring possible solutions, and reaching a settlement. I hope this is what we discussed, right? On the definition of mediation. So now the question is, what are the techniques? We talk about the principles of negotiation. So what are the techniques of mediation? So what techniques are we going to look at? We have some key techniques that we want to look at, right? We have some key techniques that we're going to look at. But before we look at those techniques, let's take some few notice on this mediation. All right, there are some few notices or notes I want you to make on mediation. There are some certain aspects of mediation that I want you to look at them before we discuss the techniques. That mediation is what voluntary. Negotiation is what voluntary. So you are not going to force anybody into negotiation. It's a voluntary thing. People come into negotiation table voluntarily, or mediation rather. It's a voluntary thing. So you can engage someone into such kind of conversation. Do you understand? It's a voluntary thing. Don't need to force anybody into it. So if you are not share this meeting, inviting someone, just to invite them to also take part. Don't share it with someone. Put it on your wall and encourage them to participate in this. And then also be actively engaged in participating, paraphrasing, commenting what you are learning. Tell us where you're joining from. All of these will help us to know who is engaging with us here. Thank you very much. We appreciate you as you do this. So, mediation is voluntary, and mediation is also confidential. One of the characteristics of mediation is confidentiality. It must be carried out in a confidential manner. All right. When talking about confidentiality, when we talk about setting rules for mediation, there's one rule we call, you know, the Vegas rule. The Vegas, you know, Vegas now in US, the Vegas rule. There's a state or a place, a city in the United States of America called the Vegas or Vegas. All right. So we have what we call the Vegas rule. That rule say whatever is being discussed in the room where it's being discussed should remain in the room. You should not take it outside. So whatever is being discussed in Vegas should remain in Vegas. That's what it is. So it's confidential. All right. But we have some exception when that confidentiality can be broken in most especially when life is being threatened and all of that, and then maybe there are some risk involved in that process. So impartiality, mediation is what? Impartial. If you must mediate, you must maintain a position of an impartial person. Once you show element of partiality, you are automatically knocking yourself out of that negotiation process, because there will be no trust, because there will be no word trust, and of course it will affect the mediation process. Then we'll talk about informal. Mediation is also informal. It's not a formal, it doesn't have a formal process like litigation or arbitration. Do you understand? So once two parties look at the issue and maybe they are not finding a solution, they can decide that, okay, let's approach someone to help us to listen to this matter and help us how we can resolve it. Okay, so it's informal. And then we say it's also cost effective. Mediation is also cost effective. You can spend little or nothing to arrive at your solution through the instrumentality of what? Mediation. Then mediation is also aimed to preserve what? Relationship. Mediation aims to do what? Preserve relationship. Mediation aims to do what? Preserve relationship. So these are the few key notices I want you to know about mediation. We can call them the characteristics of what? Mediation, if you so wish to call them like that. Those are the attributes of what? Attributes of mediation. So what are the techniques you can deploy to resolve dispute? What techniques to use in mediation? What are those techniques you can deploy to, carry out mediation? One is active listening. Active what? Listening. Listen actively. As a mediator, you must listen actively to each party to understand their perspective, concerns, and interests. So active listening is key. The ability to listen well means the ability to communicate effectively. Once you cannot give a listening ear, you are already failing. You have failed. So what do you do? Your ability, what makes you a good leader is your ability to listen and also to communicate when necessary. But listen more than you communicate. Some of us are always talking. We have diarrhea of the mouth. Talking cha 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 cha, you don't want to listen to anybody. Somebody is saying something, but you cannot listen. You understand? You are just cha 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 cha. Cha. So how will you follow up with what the person is saying? So active listening is key. All right. So summarizing. So when you listen actively, you summarize. Some of you are summarizing what I'm saying here in your own way. Do you understand? You're summarizing what I'm saying here in your own way. That's what some of us are doing here. So the mediator summarizes what each party has said to ensure that clarity and understanding is achieved. So when all the parties must have argued and then they must have contended over issues and then agreed on some certain things, you summarize those things and then ask them questions to affirm that this is their position and this is what they have said. You understand? So summarizing can help the parties see common ground and areas of agreement. So always, uh, you know, summarize when somebody is talking. And let me give you an example of how you can summarize. Um, Mr. Kula, I think you are saying that Mr. Coyote is to give you 200,000, but he has given you, or was to give you 200,000, but he has just given you 100,000, and you want the remaining 100,000 to be paid before the end of this month. Is that what you are saying? Is that your position? Yes, that is my position. You have summarized the thing, and you have asked him a question to affirm it. So you affirm it. Do you understand? So summarizing is very key. Then reframing. So the mediator may also reframe statements or issues in a neutral or more positive light to parties. Do you understand? So because there are some certain issues that the party, the way they are presenting it in their own presentation is, there are some people that sometimes when they speak, I will tell you that's if it's a personal thing, or I'm talking about personal now. I will tell you that you don't know how to talk. Because what you are saying now is just making me to be more angry. Do you understand? So why can't you talk in a way that it can make me also to feel better to contribute to what you are saying? So in this kind of situation now, a mediator will have to reframe statements so that at least it will be suiting. Do you understand? So I can give room for the parties to feel at least. "Ah, oh, have you not seen when somebody says something that, oh, you say, oh, this is exactly, at least now, this is what I was expecting to hear from you. Do you understand? Something like this because of the way someone is presented in a different way. Do you understand? So things like that happen. So reframing is also key, or it's one of the techniques. Brainstorming, that is encouraging parties to generate ideas and potential solutions without judgment, can help expand the range of options and foster creativity. So that is what it is. I have talked about brainstorming here. You share ideas and then prioritize issues and then come up with the best alternative for your engagement. Do you understand? That's another principle. Another principle is caucusing. Caucus. The APC caucus, the PDP caucus, or caucusing. Do you understand? Caucus. I'm just trying to use those. Some of us are politicians. You when we talk about we are the PDP caucus, we are the APC caucus. We are the caucus members. Do you understand? So that's what we call caucusing. All right. In caucusing, the mediator meets with each party separately to discuss sensitive issues, exploring what interests, and facilitate communication in more private settings. So you say you are going to meet with the caucus of the party to discuss, say, or maybe there are conflicts that are going on in the party, and so the caucus members want to resolve the conflict. So they are meeting with the individuals separately to hear from their view and look at the best thing they can do. Do you understand? Sensitive issues, caucus. Managing emotion again appears here. Also, in mediation, you must manage emotion. The mediator help parties manage strong emotions. You don't know who you are dealing with. I can beat you black and blue and nothing will happen. Mr. Kola, calm down, please. You don't need to raise your voice. In fact, you are even violating the rules of engagement. But the rules of engagement say you should not raise your voice. You should not also interrupt someone when they are speaking. You are going off. So the best thing that can happen to you is to manage your emotion. Please, can you manage? Can you control how you feel? That is the mediator. That's your role. You are telling the person that is so angry and is overreacting and easily irritated and offended. Do you understand? So you have to like calm him down, calm him all the way down so that you can be able to engage him. So managing emotions is key. And of course, you, the mediator, also have to manage because sometimes the matter will be so choking that you yourself you also be affected. You'll be feeling somehow. And if there's nothing, you'll be feeling for someone. You don't need to feel for anybody. You understand? You don't need to feel for anybody. Your job is to facilitate conversation. You are not to come and feel for anybody or take side. Do you understand? So that is it. So generating options. The mediator can help parties generate variety of potential solutions and explore different ways to address their underlying interest. Do you understand? The underlying what interest. So reality testing, the mediator may help parties evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of their position, assess the likely outcomes if the dispute goes to court, and consider the practicality of proposed solutions. Because reality testing, the mediator can also help you to understand certain things. He may tell you, please don't make this issue go to court because all of you will end up suffering. One of you, time will be wasted, money will be wasted, and you may not even get a reward or award that meets all the expenses you incur and everything. So agreement drafting. Once parties reach a resolution, the mediator can assist in drafting a formal agreement that captures the terms of the settlement in a clear and comprehensive manner. So we have agreed that, okay, Mr. Tunde, Kola is going to give you, Mr. Kayo, Kola is going to give you your money by end of the month. That is 31st of or 30th October, and the amount is 100,000, and it should be payable to social account. Is all of those details. Do you understand? So you can draft an agreement to show us how those things work. Now, the last topic we are going to look at before we call it a day is case studies of successful negotiations and mediations. Do we have case studies to back up what we have been discussing? So, what are the case studies to back up this issue of negotiation and mediation as we have discussed? Number one is Good Friday Agreement. Good Friday agreement. People I say this agreement was done on a Good Friday. Some of us know what Good Friday is all about, but so then as a result of that, they name it Good Friday Agreement. That was done in 1998. Let me give you a background of what happened. All right. So the Good Friday Agreement, also known as the Belfast Agreement, the Belfast Agreement was a landmark peace agreement in Northern Ireland, right? That sought to end the decades-long world conflict between nationalist and unionist party people, nationalists and the unionists. Do you understand? Party people, and causing division in the country, conflict here and there, no legitimate government. So we're fighting. So what happened? The negotiation process. The negotiation involved multiple parties, including the British and Irish governments, all right, as well as political parties representing both communities in Northern Ireland. The talk spanned several years and involved intense mediation efforts. So sometimes it can be so bad, it will go for a long period. Sometimes it's short and it's concluded. You understand? But at the end of the day, results achieved. So the outcome, what was the outcome? The agreement established a power sharing government in Northern Ireland. Power sharing government in Northern Ireland addressed issues of governance, human rights, and decommissioning of paramilitary weapons. All right, so it has been credited with bringing an end to the violence and significantly improving the political landscape in the region in Northern Ireland. Are you, some of you that have traveled to the country, you can attest to how they are doing. Do you understand? So, but what was the problem? Power sharing, right? So between the unionists and what, the nationalists. That's number one case study that we have discussed. Number two case study is Camp David Accords. Camp David Accords had a successful experience when it negotiated the case or mediated the case between and Egypt, Israel and Egypt in 1978. 1978. So background. The Camp David Accords were a series of agreements signed by Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin. It was mediated by the US President Jimmy Carter at the Camp David Presidential Retreat in Maryland in US. All right, that's where it was mediated upon by the President of the United States of America, Jimmy Carter. So what was the negotiation process? The negotiations at Camp David were intense and lasted for 13 days. 13 days. So you can see the other one was several years, but this one now was just 13 what? 13 days, not even up to a half of the month. So President Carter played a crucial role in facilitating communication between the parties and finding common ground. What was the outcome? The accords led to a peace treaty, a peace war treaty between Egypt and Israel, the first between Israel and an Arab state. The agreement laid the foundation for diplomatic relationship between the two countries and has endured for decades. And that's why Egypt claimed that uh, when Iran released the first missiles they released during the last the order before the last one, right? So Egypt claimed that they helped in intercepting what, those missiles. Why? Because they have a treaty with Israel. They are maintaining peace. Do you understand? And Israel also vow not to. If we go into details of that, is that Israel was not, because it was on the issue of border encroachment. So Israel say you're not going to step beyond our borders again. And of course, there are certain areas that Egypt was taking that Israel needed them to take control of. And all of that was done. And they have their borders. Israel have their peace. Don't attack us. They are not attacking them again. You understand? So we have South Africa's transition to democracy. Another case study, South Africa transition to democracy in 1990s. So what's the background here? The negotiation that ended apartheid and led to South Africa's transitions to democracy are often cited as successful example of conflict resolution through negotiation. So how does the negotiation happen in this case? The negotiation involved the African National Congress, the ACN, led by Nelson Mandela, the apartheid government, and other political parties. Mediation efforts were supported by international actors. What was the outcome? The negotiation resulted in the peaceful dismantling of the apartheid, the release of Nelson Mandela from prison, and the establishment of a democratic system with universal suffrage. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission was also established to address past human rights violations. What I was agitating here yesterday that we need to do in Nigeria. So these things were done. At the end of the day, South Africa with other people have been reconciled, and development is fast taking place in South Africa. And then in Rwanda, the same thing happened. You know. And then here, we are denying even the conflict in the first place. So how can we resolve it? So these are some of the case studies that we consider today, considering how far they were conducted and the success thereof. So these are some of the case studies. And this is how much we are going to take for today. I really appreciate all of you for taking time to participate in this training. Like I said, this training is going to be continuous. All right. So next month we'll be also be having training on peace and conflict management, a very important course that you can participate. We are going to release the flyer soon so that people will start registering for it. We want to see many people register for that course because the main course, peace and conflict resolution or management. So the flyer will soon be out so that people can start registering for it. All right. And then we'll give you manual as we progress. All right. We'll give you manual as we progress so that you start reading and getting yourself ready for your examination, as the case may be. So thank you very much for taking time to be part of today's training. Let me see if I can have any question. If I don't have any question, I will I'll progress. So for those of you that are asking me about groups, if you did not do any training on alternative dispute resolution, you don't need a group. For this peace and sustainable development, there is no group except the main group where all of you during the registration you will add it. Apart from that, there is no group. We are not doing any presentation in this course. All right. So we may just dare to do what we call have an interaction, maybe on some topical issues that concerns sustainable development in our peace clinic. But yeah, it's not an assignment. You just may come to just share knowledge with the world. Do you understand? So, but you don't have a group here. Group are for alternative dispute resolution simulation training classes. So thank you very much. We appreciate all of you. We hope that you will join us same time tomorrow by 7 p.m. as we look at, let me tell you what we'll be looking at tomorrow, as we'll be looking at peace building strategies. Peace building strategies. So you want to know the strategies involved in peace building, be here by tomorrow, 7 p.m. Have a wonderful night rest. And somebody's asking, how can we be members of the institute? Okay, okay. Let me send you my WhatsApp number. You chat me. Um, uh, how can we be members of the institute? Mr. Anytime, I'm sending our WhatsApp number here now. You can chat me up. We'll add you in the group so that you can look at the processes to become a member of the institute. All right. So the number is 08077987757. That is our WhatsApp number. WhatsApp number. All right. WhatsApp. So you can chat us on WhatsApp, and then you will get answers. All right. So I'm sending it in the comment section. You can check it and see it. All right. I'm sending it now. I think it has been sent. So it has been sent. Sit here now. So you can copy the number, chat, reach me out, and then I will guide you on how you can become a member. Okay, thank God you got the number right even before I share it. 08077987757. That's it. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night rest. We'll see you tomorrow by 7 p.m. rather, by 7 p.m. I have another meeting by 8:30. So I have 8 minutes to join that meeting. So I'll see you by tomorrow, 7 p.m. Thank you very much. Good night.